The training good?
No, it's good. You, you know why I'm laughing?
Why? Why?
I'm laughing at me yesterday in the kitchen baking cookies, and I asked you if you want to help me bake it. And you said you only know how to bake one other cookie or whatever.
I know how to bake already. I know how to put stuff in the oven.
That's what you were talking about?
Eh?
That's what you were talking about?
I know how to put stuff in the oven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know how to bake. I've baked before.
Numerous of times. You've baked. You baked in the oven.
Oh. Yo, you're too mixed up, Too mixed up.
Oh, gosh.
Your mind, where your mind is.
Right here, right now, fast lane lifestyle. That's exactly where my mind is at. Yes.
All right. Welcome to the fast lane lifestyle. And, thanks for the support. And we appreciate you. And I appreciate you as well.
We appreciate everyone. I appreciate you daily. You're my personal superheroes. And not all superheroes wear capes because we run into them day to day. Sometimes it's our life partners, sometimes our co-workers, our bosses, our family members. They go above and beyond. And because we have access to them daily, we don't really, take note of that. So.
Yeah. And for who join us for the first time, I'm Asafa Powell, former world record holder in the 100 meters. That's track and field. And this is my lovely wife.
Yes, I am Alicia Powell. I'm like, I don't think I can compete with that. I am a fashion model.
Come on, baby. You can.
I can't compete with that. A mom.
You're on the 400 before, so.
That was a long time ago. It was nothing.
Former 400 meter.
No, it was nothing professional. That was just high school level. That was it.
It's life. Such is life.
Yes.
But yeah, where are we at today?
Man, so much to talk about. We instantly just said, let's do a podcast quickly. We didn't really plan anything to really talk about because, we have to normally schedule this with the kids and their schedule and everything.
The thing is, when I always tell you that, when we plan,
yes,
when we plan like all that, like during the planning, that's when all the ideas,
guys, don't worry. I still have a lot.
It's more genuine when, and it's more raw when
we just let it flow.
We just let it flow instead of, when
we like it when it's organic. So a lot of our conversations, we might have like pointers of what we want to discuss, but it's never, like we have said, it's not an interview. It's really just us conversating, So, but I have some there's these funny, I wouldn't say they're necessarily funny. They were these topic of conversations that I've been seeing that I was like, I want us to ask each other. Like I'm going to ask it and we both answer just to see each other's,
what is this now?
Opinions and mindsets of things. And you guys watching or listening, it'll also probably be a debate you can have with your friends, at home, your coworkers, family.
All
right. Why are you nervous?
Feel like a first date.
Is it? I still give you butterflies, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing, a phrase that men hate hearing from women. What do you think that is?
I guess from all right. When is a phrase or just anything?
So a phrase that
just anything.
I guess you can just say it as anything.
Like when I hear you call me by my name, I know it's a problem. I know something about to go down.
That's true, because it's like when the first. But I would say that's also
like Asafa. When I hear Asafa, I know I was like, OMG, what is going on now?
What did I do? Your brain just starts rambling. I'm not a man, but I would say, I don't want to assume. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm here to correct you.
I would say like I need to talk to you, or there's something I want to discuss with you. That anytime a man probably hears that, it's probably like, oh damn, what's going on now?
I guess no, it wouldn't. The way you say it,
maybe I'm not wording it right. But
yeah, the way you say it doesn't come out.
We need to talk. Okay, we need to talk.
Yeah. Because if you say I have something to discuss with you or whatever,
the phrase is we need to talk.
Yeah. or we need to talk, or the first, like when they say who is, like you don't need to
Right,
unionize.
right.
When
Who is?
when a man here, who
you just
is
start.
this?
You just
Who
start.
is that?
You just start. Anxiety
Or where?
starts.
Yeah, so I would say that. I mean, I know
There's a few
there are a
different, but
few
I think
different ones.
really is that we need to talk is probably like a universal phrase because most
Yeah,
women really
we need
use
to
the
talk.
we need to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the man would probably find something to do and delay that conversation for as long as possible.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. For a fact. For a fact. I have a few others.
What else? What else?
Then we can get to our.
What else?
All right, hold on. There's a few. Okay, so this one, ladies, to me, this one, I can attest to it that it's a fact. So, according to a study, men spend around 7 hours a year hiding in bathrooms just to get some peace and quiet. I can attest to that because he will go into the bathroom, take the laptop, and he'll be in there for years. The minute I want to get some time in the
Mm-hmm.
bathroom, oh, what are you doing? We gotta go. This,
Yeah,
all
man.
that. But
I'll go in the bathroom with
why the
my
bathroom?
my phone, or if my phone is charging, I'll go in there with my laptop and I'll watch some YouTube, and anywhere else you can just come in the room. If I go outside, you can just walk outside. If I
I
go
just
in the
think that that's
garage,
such
you
an
can.
odd
But
place
when
to
I'm
want
in
to
the
hang out.
bathroom and I lock that door, you don't want to come in
Literally. So
because
when
it's
I
an
see
uncomfortable spot for anybody to want to go to bother anybody.
and
I know I'm not in the bathroom doing any funky stuff.
are you
I'm just
sure?
in there
But you tell me I
watching
have
my
to go
car
and use the
videos.
bathroom. That's how you get in there.
Hmm?
That's what you say.
No, what?
Oh wait, you're saying funky stuff. Oh, you're my oh my I
You
get
know
it now. I get it
a
now.
lot of men go in the bathroom for
Right.
certain different reasons.
But
You
it
know what I mean,
clearly
babe?
shows that.
I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? And I have you. Come on, man.
But clearly, and a lot of women I talk to
Mhm.
always say that, yes, my man does that. He spent so long in the
Yeah.
bathroom
I
and
mean, I don't spend long in the bathroom showering. Like if I'm going to shower, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and I'm done. But like if I'm going a number two, I'll
well,
spend my time doing a number two. You know what I mean? I'll go flush, relax, watch
but yeah,
some
they
YouTube,
men, it's a thing for men.
play some
That's your
game.
guys' sanctuary.
Yeah, play game. That's why I download so much game on my phone. I play
Mm,
some games, watch some YouTube. If anybody call me, I'm not answering when I'm in there on the toilet.
that's
Not
true.
go,
You have
yeah,
that
yeah,
is true.
not go answer.
So one more. Men settle more than women. What do you think about that statement?
That's one kind of weird. I don't know. I
I feel like probably
settle
settle as
down.
in like no, not settle down as in like most, not most, some people will settle. Okay, so for women, some women will settle. When you say settle, it means like how do I word this? You will settle with a man because you're comfortable with the fact that he can provide you with security, and the security means financial. Like he
Yeah.
meets your
uh,
financial needs, right?
Oh, in that sense,
So I think
sorry to cut you, but in that sense, I think um, when you say men don't really look for much from woman more than like they have certain standard, and money is is the least of it. It's
right,
not even in it.
right.
A man would say, most men would say, cook, clean, they can do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
They have a little independence, stuff like that. But you're not going to hear a man say, "Oh, my woman have to have money,
Right.
or she have to make a certain amount of money." No man not going to
So
do that. So it's easier for a man to just find even a girl that don't have anything
because
and
I guess
just
the term the person
settle
is
with them.
trying to say is the settle isn't like maybe you're not going to get the dream woman that you want, so you settle for the next best
No, I
thing.
think a man is a woman
Settle.
there.
Yeah, and I would say if a man chooses to settle, I don't really like that word, but I mean it's a reality. It happens. I think when I'm gonna say the word status, this settle for status, and when I'm saying status, I'm not meaning fame
Mm-hmm.
or money or any of that. A man will settle if the woman that's the type of woman he can take to his office party, and she
Mm-hmm.
can mix and mingle with the CEOs. No, wait, let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
The CEOs' wives and stuff. No,
Mm-hmm.
because there is certain men, the type of wife that they have at home versus the type of woman they mess around in the streets, they
Mm-hmm.
could never take into those types of settings.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes they've settled in that aspect of like they look good together on paper.
Oh.
I
Mm.
mean, no, I've seen that happening. I would say if a man is settling, it might be in that aspect. They look good together in paper. She can fit in everywhere, but it's really not like the love of his life. I don't know if I'm wrong, but
I mean, some man just settle just to say
have
that they have a
someone.
wife,
Okay.
and that wife stay home. You'll see them out on the road every day. You never think they're married.
True.
You know, while they probably rather to go on the road with somebody else who
So the
probably
person that they are out on the road with, that's who they would rather want to be with, but they've settled because the wife have something to offer that
I
the other
wouldn't
person doesn't.
I wouldn't say that because a lot of like you know you'll find girls on the road and excited and stuff
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
about that girl or I mean the first and they probably look a certain way have a certain
Right. I
body
mean,
part that look a
newer
certain way
things always look
and
shinier, right?
yeah and then I mean you just want the fun out of it you don't really
Right.
want them for
Okay.
to settle down with or nothing like that it's just for the fun
Right.
you'll have a woman that you want to settle down with that you don't want to live that lifestyle. You know what I mean? Some
So,
man want a woman that they don't want them to go out and party.
mm-hmm,
Just
mm-hmm.
want them to, like you said, probably go certain events with them, and stay home.
Yeah,
But
because they
at the
fit into
same
that
time,
category.
at the
So
same time,
maybe,
some man don't want a woman to go nowhere.
I guess so. We all settle in different aspects, but I would say probably women settle more because of security.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think women. I mean,
it's hard, honestly.
no, but no, I don't think so. Cause I don't think women settle for anything.
What do you
Like
mean? There's a
you'll
lot of
find
people that will settle
a
because
lot, yeah, a
this
lot.
person either has he's rich, he has money, so they don't have to worry about
Mhm.
anything. The man might not be the love of their life, but he can provide. A woman's whole thing is security,
Yeah,
so she
security,
will
but how
settle
often
down.
they how often they go and find that?
What do you
Like a man,
mean?
no, what a man looking for is more,
When I say the word settle, I'm not meaning like you go and you settle down, you're happy. It just means you're settling for the next best thing. You're settling because even though that's not what you really want, there's something you're gaining from it. I think that's what that person was asking or was stating. So it's like you have something to gain by settling with that person.
a tricky one, huh? It's a tricky one, because
I mean, it's
I
tricky,
have
but
a,
I thought that's
yeah,
why I thought I'm like this would be interesting because then other people listening to this can have their input on
yeah,
it, and then
yeah.
this could be like a
It's
further
good to have different.
discussion.
It's good to have different inputs because,
Yeah, for
like
sure.
I might say something now and then I might think different, like a minute after,
Right.
and then I go back to my
Thinking dropping.
first answer that I had, but I don't know. I think. Uh, all right. Is it is it that is it that one is easier or
I guess with this type of
one?
question, there's really like a broad way to
Mhm.
it trickles down to a lot of different pointers
Because
and
even
points.
I was listening to a podcast the other day,
Yeah.
and um,
It's
the
a podcast
person,
world now, guys.
yeah, the person said, um, men men settle for love, women settle for money.
Which is why I said women settle for security. That
Yeah.
yeah.
So, um, which one do you think is easier to find, love or money? Hmm?
I would money.
No,
Everybody
sir.
has money
No, I
now.
don't think no. I mean,
Everyone.
yeah. I mean,
Everyone
everybody
has
have
money.
money,
But to find
but
genuine love now, just
mm,
from listening to my friends, listening to other single people or acquaintances, it's really hard to date. And the people that are ready to like actually be in a
mm,
full serious relationship, it's hard for them to find. because there's so much
Mm-hmm.
options, there are a lot of
But
people.
yeah,
So love is quite hard to
it's
find.
it's
True
it's
love
it's
at
weird. It's
that.
weird. But I know in this day and age, you don't find you don't find nobody unattractive again.
Right. Everybody's
Everybody
a hot
everybody
girl.
is a art person, art whatever, But
Everyone's
let me
doing their
say
thing.
this: you'll find a lot of women settle with some man that look like Chuck front.
Oh
Like can Chuck
jeez.
run up in them
I
face
cannot
and
deal.
all that stuff. Don't kill me, but but that's because of the money don't have no look in the money look only one way. Well, money
Right.
look only one way, which is
Right.
it look good. So you'll find a woman settle for the money with somebody who they would never settle for
Mm-hmm.
if it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't.
Because of what they had to
Um,
offer.
yeah, and if the tables turn, you're not going to find that because a man say, bit. Let, let me shut my mouth before I get in trouble
All right.
with
So
saying the ugly word. Yeah,
the other day you and I
unattractive.
were having a conversation about society and how like religion is really needed, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, whoever is listening, if it's like you believe in a higher power or whatever it is you believe in, it's needed to have structure in society, to have us love on each other, love your neighbor as yourself, live without judgment, forgive one another, um just to aim to be a better person,
Mm-hmm.
as well as raise better children, raise better kids.
I
And
mean,
we're
when you're
lacking.
out there and don't believe in anything, you're just
Right.
wild and
To be motivated
just
by
crazy, and
something, to be scared
you have
of,
to believe in something.
God or higher power, whatever it is,
Yeah,
right?
cause like if you're out there and don't have education, like I mean,
There's nothing you
rough.
fear. There's
Yeah, it's
nothing,
just rough.
right.
It's just rough on you.
And
And I mean, and when you don't understand certain things, when you don't have education, you can't understand certain things.
mhm,
I mean, and when there's nothing to fear or nothing you believe in or you don't have like a path that you're following, it it can just lead you. Yeah, you're just all over the
all over
place.
the place,
Just all over
right?
the place, and everything that comes, just jump on it. Everything that's happening, every new trend, you're just on it. You know, you just don't care about life. Like I find people don't really even fear nothing anymore. They don't care about life. They don't
Right,
care
because
about
nothing
nothing.
is out of
Yeah, boundary.
there's no boundaries.
Yeah.
So to me, we're talking and having a conversation with one of my good friends the other day. Um, as you all know, watching this, I'm a Christian, but I also believe that my relationship with God is a personal relationship. I don't need to, there's like this proven factor. I
Mm-hmm.
don't need to prove to anyone that, I believe in God. I speak about God. He's carried me through everything. He's blessed me in so many different ways. But also, I know when I was going through my personal struggle, when you're going to church and, the same people that will be telling you they don't practice what they're preaching.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of hypocrites as well that are in church. Don't
Mm-hmm.
come for me, but it's the
It's true.
reality
It's
of
reality.
it.
And if anybody come
So
for you, they're hypocrites.
So, I mean, the reason why
Mm-hmm.
I'm stating this, let's just say with religion, if you want people to follow, you have to practice what you preach.
Mm-hmm.
We can't be preaching one thing and then living another way. Or if you're talking to someone, it's like you're condemning them, you're feeling like you're above them,
Mm-hmm.
you are judging them. We can't, like, judgment, we shouldn't be judging each other. That's up
Mm-hmm.
to God to do that, or whatever it is that you want to believe in. But I think if we want more younger people to be able to go to church and everything, the approach has to really be
Mm-hmm.
live by what you're practicing, what you're preaching, practice it daily. Don't be living a hypocrite life where you're out doing one thing and you're the meanest person, and then out at church you're the sweetest person. So I feel like that's probably one of the reasons, because when I'm speaking to people my age group,
Mm-hmm.
that it's like they believe in God, but they want to go to church,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like you feel
Trust.
uncomfortable.
They don't
Right. And
trust
there's been a lot of like
trust the
wishy-washy
church
stuff
anymore.
happening. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that needs to change a lot. And like I think
Yeah.
everything falls on the place of like emotional intelligence. We
Mm-hmm.
have to leave everything to God on judgment day. You know,
Mm-hmm.
who are we to judge someone? We're supposed to help our neighbors. We're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be the one to hold their hand and say, here, I'm gonna lead you on the right path without making them feel uncomfortable or guilty, because at the end of the day, God knew we were gonna make mistakes, you know? So we're
Mm-hmm.
not perfect human beings. But I feel like that's probably one of the reasons why we're straying from so much. Because
Yep.
I would say, I always say, like, I also believe in manifestation. And when I say manifestation, I pray with manifesting. So
Mm-hmm.
I pray with, and I set my intentions, and then God just guides me. But like when I'm talking to people, I don't condemn them. Like, why don't
Mm-hmm.
you have a relationship with God? I listen to their input, then I let them know this is what God's done for me, and this is what having a religion that I believe in has helped me accomplish so much and like stayed on track of things,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, I really don't like the hypocritical stuff, because I see it all the time though, because they'll be on, whether it's the gram, and they're posting this and all that, and they just don't. It's like
Mm-hmm.
total two different people.
Rough.
It's rough in these
Rough out there, you know. Yeah, I mean,
streets.
and um, you find like I said, the younger crowd, they don't really want to go to church anymore because it's not fun. You know, I mean, I used to have fun when I go to church and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. I used to be in the choir, youth choir and all
Right.
that stuff. Used to play music. It was a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, like there are a lot of hypocrites behind when I leave the
Is it-
church, like everybody just the gossip and the
Mm-hmm.
so and
Yes.
sister so and so and brother so and so and
It's a
it's
lot.
just a lot. And then I guess people hear that and they're like, oh, are they different from
Right. And
our Christian, you know?
I've seen a lot. Like we once had someone that was working for us, and at the time, then we had another person that was working for us, that was working, help
Mm-hmm.
keeping the yard and everything clean. And that person had pretty much said, they didn't want to feed the other person working on the outside because, they're not one of us. And this is
Mm-hmm.
the same person that would be every day preaching
Mm-hmm.
stuff to me on why are you not, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. So it's like you see so much of that as
Mm-hmm.
let me say, as a millennial, we like to question things. Millennials are going to question things.
Mm-hmm.
So if I see that from someone that
Mm-hmm.
never misses a day of church, always listening to, and just preaching the
Mm-hmm.
gospel to you, but is condemning someone because they feel like they're above someone and someone's beneath them. It's
Mm-hmm.
little things like that.
Until the man. What nowadays is that a lot more things are being exposed, because of the internet and social media and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. So you'll find every minute you hear that, oh, this pastor get catch with this
Right, that
pastor is
too.
doing that pastor is doing that. So when people hear that and it happening over and over and over, when they hear about scamming, everybody a scam, like you just figures every call you get, you think is a scam. So every time you hear a pastor say something, or you see a pastor living a
Mhm,
certain lifestyle, you
mhm.
just automatically think,
What's going on?
say my rabbi church people, and
Right.
So I mean, I grew up around my mother and my father are
Mhm,
pastors,
mhm.
and I can tell you, boy, if they if they were like, I mean, we didn't grow up rich,
Mhm, mhm.
stuff like that, and my if people if somebody was supposed to take church money,
Right.
you know, it would be somebody in that situation, like
Right.
somebody poor. But my parents, they just decided to stay poor.
Right.
Just decide to go through the struggle, go through the tough
They
times,
didn't take
and
advantage
they didn't
of
take advantage of the situation that they are
position.
pastors, and they control the whole situation and stuff like that. They didn't take advantage of it. So I know that there are pastors out there that are living a clean and just
Of
life,
course.
but the ones that are living a certain
We're
way,
seeing
they
more of
they they
that. Yes.
outshine
Yes.
they outshine the
Yes.
good pastors and good Christians, So, and like I said, it's a social media world, so the younger generation will only see that. The more traditional pastors,
Mhm.
they're not a lot on social media,
And
but
I
they
wouldn't
are on
even,
they're on it. But
I would even
you
like,
know,
I was going to touch on that and say I wouldn't dare. So there's a few that I listen to now that are, they're traditional, but they also are you can relate to them.
mm-hmm.
They speak about
Yeah,
realness, and I
yeah,
think when you're doing more
mm-hmm.
of that, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it makes you want to like form a
Yeah,
relationship. It
when I
makes
say
you,
traditional, I don't mean, I mean, yeah, old fashioned type of way, but they still try to keep up with the modern, because they have to keep up with that
changes and everything you have
to
to
grab people,
change.
attention, But I'm just saying they're not following
Right.
the
The hype.
modern, the hype and all that stuff. They're still sticking to their
Yes, their core
teaching, their
values.
preaching, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Not saying, not saying pastors don't have laptop and phone and high
Right.
tech phone and
Yes,
stuff. But
yes.
my father don't know how to use no high tech phone. Father still have a button press phone.
I love that. Love that.
Still have button phone, and my mother every time is like, I can't bother with the texting, So mother send voice note all the time because
Yeah.
she can't bother the texting and this and that. And
Mhm.
but yeah, you have to practice what you preach, and you will lose more and more people every day if this trend continues.
Yeah.
You have to you want people to follow a certain path, and so you can't really just down in people's throat, tell them, say them this and them that, and you're a pastor, you're supposed to set an example,
Mhm. And
and
sometimes
you're
it's a
supposed
little
to
bit of
teach. You're supposed to
bullying.
be a teacher.
Yeah.
You're supposed to teach us.
And
Because
like a mentorship as well,
mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm,
I I would say regardless of that, just it's about your personal relationship. Don't I've
mm-hmm,
learned to just not base it off of the bad experiences
mm-hmm,
I've had, whether it's with church or whether it's an encounter with like another
mm-hmm,
Christian or whatever it is. It's about your personal relationship with
mm-hmm,
God. And once you form that, your life will change, or a higher power, whatever it
mm-hmm.
is,
And the the fact of the matter is, it is showing in today's society. If you realize, everybody just loose nowadays. You know, um, more violence.
Yes. Like people are
Like
even shooting in
yeah, people go
churches.
church, go shoot up anybody because
Yes.
nobody no respect church again, or
Respect
nothing like that.
level.
It's there. I mean, churches were a place where people see church and afraid of church.
Yes. It was set there for us to be able to
Yeah.
obey like the 10 commandments,
Yeah,
all of
so
that
no,
stuff.
yeah, you
So
find, younger generation don't have no respect for nothing at
but
all.
that's what I'm saying. If us millennials start forming based in our relationship, as in like it's our personal relationship, it will then trickle down into the way we
Mm-hmm.
raise our kids. It will trickle down into our household, our
Mm-hmm.
relationships, our view on life.
Mm.
Because, like we were saying, if you have a fear for something,
Sometimes,
you have
yeah.
respect for something that,
Sometimes I wonder if it's too far gone.
I don't
You
know.
have to just focus on your own kids.
Which is
You
why
know.
we no, but even so, focusing on your own kids, it's also that emotional intelligence of teaching them
Mm-hmm.
that you are going to run into this, run into that, because
Yeah,
you
you're going
can
to be
prepare
around it.
them as
Yeah.
much as you can at home.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always going to be someone else's child that they're going to have to experience that
They're
might
going to
not
be
be
around them. Yeah.
so pleasant, that's going to
Mm-hmm.
question them on certain things. And you have to make sure they're well equipped to
Mm-hmm.
be able
Mm-hmm.
to stand their ground. And
Mm-hmm.
I always say I want my kids, I'm putting it out there. God is listening to this. My kids are going to be leaders and not followers. I don't want them to be easily influenced.
Yeah.
I even when
Yeah.
I was living on my own at such a young age, if I am saying and people are smoking weed and all this stuff, I never in my life,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not going to do it because you are telling me to do it.
I smoke a
I'm
book leaf.
not
I
I'm not
smoke a book leaf
easily
once.
a book leaf.
Yeah,
I
I
think we've
just
all
roll up
done
the
that. I think
yeah,
I probably
I
did
just
something
roll up the
like
book
that.
leaf and I just light it, and that's it. But yeah, but I've
But
never
it's
never
it's
smoked
just like
anything
that
before.
because just having that, I know I was always like, my mom always is like, you've seen the struggle. And I think sometimes that's the honesty of like being honest with your kids to a certain extent. It's like I would see the struggle and I would see how hard she's working,
Mm-hmm.
but I never would ever see her condemn another person or whatever. So it just made me be who I am, even when I was alone, that no
Mm-hmm.
matter what, like this is my path and I'm choosing to walk this path. And it's okay if you don't agree with that path. I accept you for
Mm-hmm.
who you are,
Mm-hmm.
but I will not let that emotional toll that you have run into whatever I have going on. So I think if we learn to have that type of like, what is it called? Having your head on straight or having your head
Mm-hmm.
on right,
Because
then
they're going to run into it.
exactly. So you
They're
have
going to run
to
into it, and they're going to see it.
prepare
They're
them
going
for
to
it.
even before they go, they will see it on social media. They will see it on the internet. Because
Yeah.
kids, them kids
It's
find
the
some
same
stuff
thing
on YouTube.
I talk about, like make sure you're talking to your kids about sex
Mm-hmm.
when it gets to a certain age where it's of age, because if not, they're going to be
Mm-hmm.
learning it from teenagers
Mm-hmm.
that don't even know what they're talking about. And they're going to
Mm-hmm.
be trying what they're talking about. So would you rather them learn it from kids? It's like kids raising each other, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So in a sense, because certain household, I know some African households it's not talked about. Some
Mm-hmm.
black households it's just not talked about. So
Yeah.
it's just being proactive in so many different ways. Structure is needed.
Yeah. Need structure. And and that was built around the church.
Yeah. I think all of that like
Built
falls
around.
right under
Yeah, it was
under
built
that.
around the church. You have to believe in something, man. Because most people they claim they
Like
don't believe in this, but the first thing happened to them is God them a call, man.
exactly. And listen to the story. So I was talking to Eva and she was telling me in Toronto, I don't want to get the story wrong, but a group of teenage young girls beat up a homeless man over his liquor and I think they ended up killing him. Why is there so much anger?
That's what that's what I'm saying. They don't have no structure. They don't have nothing to fear, and they don't respect life.
No,
That's what
but
I say. I said they don't respect
apparently
life. They don't
I
care
don't know
about
if
life.
I'm getting it wrong. Apparently one of them goes to a church.
Them go church just to go church because they're forced to. Like exactly like what you say. You can grow them. You can train them.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're more influenced by friends and by them peers,
Right.
boy, no matter what you teach them,
It's really just it's a
just that
scary
they're
place
just gonna
and a
have that dark
scary
sheep,
time
that
because
one bad sheep.
what clicked in your brain to say I'm going to attack this person over
And
liquor?
probably the friends, probably
No, I'm just saying as a
that one
collective
person.
of them.
And the thing is, no,
Why?
probably that one person was trying to stop them,
I don't know, but
And
that
because yeah,
is
you
just
always if you have a group of 10, you always have that one
that really
that's
doesn't want to do
saying no,
it, but is
yeah,
like wants
but
to fit in and
pressure.
be cool. And peer pressure is
And they're
really
just there because if you're there and you stand up and you watch them and police come, you're a part of the crew. So
it's
you always have that one person who
but over liquor, like that's my whole thing was like
where else they gonna get it?
over
They're
liquor,
teenagers, so where else they're gonna get it?
beat
They can't
someone.
bite. They
No,
can't
it's
bite.
just
No, they're not of age.
I'm just frightened. Like, how do we re-steer like
Mm-hmm.
this generation? How do we? I think
Man,
it just needs to be
and
like we
this
we
man probably is him one battle him having in weeks and months, and
like
him
for
cherishing it.
like for me, my main thing of everything. You made me lose my train of thoughts. We had talked about this in the other podcast. It's like accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't like being held accountable for our actions and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it starts from us
Mm-hmm.
recognizing that and seeing that in our kids as well. When you see them straying, you see it, hold them accountable, and maybe find like a sport for them to do, keep them busy. I don't know, like I'm not an expert, but
Mm-hmm.
find like an idol. When you're idle, you're gonna go do gonna get into some fish. You don't think so? If you're bored,
Of course. Of course, when you're bored, your mind just all over the place. And worse, when you're young and have a lot of energy,
that's true. Oh God,
your mind
I
just
need
all
some of
over the
that energy.
place. Yeah, man, I need some to them kids just take away all of the
I,
energy.
I have a question
But
to ask my ladies. Is it really true that when you're going into your early 30s, your energy level declines? And then when you hit 35, it comes back up? Because mine is really declining. I am so
that
tired.
question is just for ladies because me, I never lose energy. I'm like the Energizer Bunny.
Well, I mean, your profession would say it all. The profession you chose to be able to, I'm gonna say the word torment, to choose
Oh
to torment your
gosh.
body. You have to
Mm.
tell this story. So he always talks about how there was a time he was at training and he thought he was gonna die, or he was calling for the ambulance. He always has all these funny
Oh
stories.
man. Yeah, I was at training, and I think the year the year before my brother died of a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was 22.
He was young.
Yeah, he was young. He was playing football and died of a heart attack. And um after that, like the doctor said that all the boys
Mm-hmm.
should do a heart test.
Okay.
So I I didn't do my art test yet. So, but when stuff like that happen, it's like you're like,
Subconscious is on it.
yeah, you're wondering if it runs in the family or what's going on or whatever it is. But he's the only one who was ever had that issue. And I was at training and I was running some 300 meters, and the training was so tough. Yeah, it was so hard. And I think it was the last one. I
Mm-hmm.
think the
How many
last one.
300s do you have to do?
I think I was doing like maybe it's like
That
6, 7, between, like we normally do between 6 and 10.
right.
So
Mm-mm.
I would think I was on the last one, and they pushed me. They were like, "Yo, Safa, come on, one more, man, one more to go." And when the lactic acid build up in the legs and you just feel like you can't go no more. I was like, and they got me to get up and say, "All right, I'm gonna go." When I'm on the home stretch coming, my chest just got real tight.
Yes.
My chest got real tight, and I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" And instantly, like I
You're
think back to when they said the doctor said I should do a heart test. I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" I was like, "Yo, call the ambulance." Yo, I drop on the ground and say, "I can't breathe, my heart. Call the ambulance." But I was just tired.
fatigue. You
I
were
was just tired,
tired.
yeah, because when I did, I went away and I did the heart test, and the doctor said my heart is perfect.
That just goes to
It's
show
an
you
athlete. Yeah.
that track life,
Mm-hmm. Tough, man. It's tough. I felt like I was gonna die.
that
And there are
track
other times
life.
up there when it's like you you like every week you pretty much throw up in training.
Did you ever
Like I work.
have a favorite training moment?
Yeah, when I have starts, when I have starts, those are the favorite days. But the long days, like you always find somebody throwing up, and it's very tough because we work out early in the mornings,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't have breakfast. We don't have time to eat breakfast. We can't eat before
Right.
we work out because like you're working out like 5:30 in the morning. You have to wake up like 4 o'clock. You
Yeah,
can't
early.
eat like an hour before your workout because you'll feel heavy. You'll just feel that
Mm-hmm.
on your chest. Won't digest, properly. So we're always on an empty stomach. And when you're trying to throw up, what is in there to come out?
Water.
Nothing. Just air. Just air coming up, and like your belly does contract. One time my entire body contract,
Oh,
and I just cried. I cried. I couldn't do
I
nothing.
could even imagine that because just
Yeah.
a little muscle contract I get on my
Yeah. I
calves, I'm
was
like,
throwing up. Yeah, I was throwing up my belly
oh,
contract. And then when I grab my belly, my shoulder right here
oh my
contract, and then my
goodness.
and then my quad, and then my hamstring, and I just couldn't do anything. I just cried.
This is exactly why my
I just cried.
respect for you
Yeah.
and all the other your fellow team members and other athletes is so high because
Yeah.
I could never do that a day of my life. Like
Mm,
imagine sitting there and your whole entire body is like having a muscle contraction on you.
mm.
That is
It's tough, man. It's tough, but it's not only we're going off
no, I mean that's
all
what
over the
our
place.
thing is
Yeah, but
about.
like
I always
even
love getting
even
to
even
know
it's not only track and field now. Football is hard
yes,
as well. Even to be a musician, because you find when the artists when they go on tours,
right. The
and
hectic
stuff like that, and they're
schedules
performing for like hour,
and traveling
hour and a
from
half, and then
city,
at the minute they
countries.
finish from that stage, they have to travel to another country or another location with little sleep,
Right.
and then they have to practice. They have to practice,
That's
and
true.
with the band and all that stuff, and just keep traveling, for all a year they're just traveling. place to place, and that's why you find a lot of them do,
They're on
drugs.
drugs and stuff. It's
Yeah, they
like,
do
I guess, a
drugs
coping
because yeah,
mechanism
because
for
it's tough,
them.
and this too.
Mentally too.
Yeah,
Because
it
even,
it it affects you mentally.
yeah.
So it's not, it's not only track and field, but in the music industry, in football, you know, a lot of other sports.
Yeah.
You find even as simple as, I mean, looks simple, but it's not like cricket. Like
Mm-hmm.
you find cricketers get some injuries you will
Mm-hmm.
never think of. Slip out them shoulder. Probably wrist.
Right.
Something. When I touch my elbow and say wrist, elbow.
You need to go back to school.
Yeah, and like even tear their groin.
Right.
Stuff like that. So you know, like a lot of sports that looks easy, even golf.
Right. Everything is not as the glamour. We only
Yeah.
just see the glamour of it,
Yeah, I mean golf kind of boring
But
still, no, but
yeah.
you know,
I'm like, in
yeah, they
everything
do
there is
get
a side
injuries.
effect.
Yeah, they
Yes.
do get injuries in golf as well. But not all of the sports. A lot of the sports are just very tough, and it's not only sports, but you know, um,
Even I had a actor friend that was saying that just
even
broke
acting.
things
Yeah.
down to me. Because if, like, at one point in time, anytime I would be talking to him, he would always be saying how, like, he's either on a certain
Mhm.
thing, or,
Mhm.
so I used to just be like, why is it
Mhm.
that, that just seems like such a thing in Hollywood?
Mhm.
And he had said something like, you have to keep in mind, sometimes you're playing a character and you're stuck in that character
Yeah.
for over a year.
Mhm.
And then when you're going back to your real life, it's kind
Mhm.
of like you've almost forgotten who you really are.
Yeah, cause
Imagine if you're playing like a serial killer or
yeah,
something.
not to cut it, but um, there are times when I find like even here in Jamaica, like you
Mm-hmm.
find somebody come up with a word or with a phrase, like it
Right.
just stuck with you.
Right.
Like
Yes.
sometimes I come up with something, and it just stuck with me. Like I just find
Yeah.
myself saying it over and over, and people are like, "What?" So I can just imagine, you playing a character and probably using a certain accent or something like that, and you just stuck with that accent because you have to practice it.
And you
You
have to
know.
be that person, and like you
Yeah.
have to live, because that's the way
Mhm,
your character
mhm.
comes alive. You
But
really
even
have to
you,
truly
but
believe
even
in
you,
that
when
person.
I just met you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like you were never in one place
Yeah.
for any given time, for any long time. Like you fly to Jamaica to come see me, and you plan to spend even 3 or 4 days with
Days
me,
and can't
and
get
like you
it.
fly in and you get a call, you have to fly out by the next day. And I
Yeah.
remember one time when I think I don't know if you flew from Canada or you flew from somewhere, and you didn't get to sleep. You had to, as you come off the plane, you go to work, and then
Mm-hmm.
when you're done work, you jump on a plane and go again, and you fainted in the airport.
Yeah, I had a few fainting spells. There's a time when you and I were out at
Mm-hmm.
Frenchman party, New
Mm-hmm.
Year's, and I remember that was one year where I literally did not see my apartment. I
Mm-hmm.
was just living on a suitcase, and sometimes when people are like, "Oh, so you went here? How do you like a country?" I can't necessarily say I seen anything
Mm-hmm.
besides a set or where we were shooting, if it's an outdoor shoot or whatever it is. So I remember that one year I was really traveling a lot, and I came here to spend the holidays with you. We
Mm-hmm.
were at a New Year's party. I was exhausted and I could feel it. And he was talking to someone at the time, and I just could feel my body just got hot. I started to feel nauseous. I just felt like dizzy. I was trying to talk to him, but then, I could see the person he was speaking to was someone that was really like a huge fan and was
Mm-hmm.
super excited. So I was just telling myself, like, just hold it, just hold it. Next thing I know, I just woke up in his arms.
Mm-hmm. Catch you. I catch you.
So yeah, nothing is really like, you will see the finished product, but
Mm-hmm.
everything is really like,
Yeah,
it's
really tough. It's tough. The professions are very tough.
even one of my friends now is a nurse, but she works
Mm-hmm.
in the thing she's doing in the critical
Mm-hmm.
with critical conditions. I don't know the right term for that, but she works in that field, and she was telling me, it's like, I didn't expect that mental aspect of it. Like, you're seeing a lot of debts,
Mm-hmm.
you have to deal with family and a lot of sadness. And
Mm-hmm.
she's like, I'm learning how to, and teaching myself how to not take that home with me, how to cope. especially
Mm-hmm.
working in the critical condition aspect of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things
Yeah.
where a lot of
Mental
factors
tough. Even
where
let me say even with police
like
officers.
that too.
Even with police officers, sometimes police don't get no sleep. The soldiers they don't get no sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when you see police on the road and they're miserable, trust me, it you have to just understand and respect,
Mm-hmm.
because they're out there protecting, they're out there for a sight gunshot,
Right.
they're out there, their life in danger every day. So, sometimes when I mean, yeah, you'll have a few police who give trouble here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I think majority of the police, like, they go through a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and you just have to give them the respect. Sometimes you hear people call the police them boy and this and that and
Right.
that. Like, I will never do that because I know that their job is not easy.
Right.
I know my job is not easy. So I don't want nobody to disrespect my job.
And
So
you won't
yeah.
disrespect anyone
So and
either.
I won't disrespect anybody's job because I know their job harder than my job because I'm a fair sight gunshot
Yeah, for sure. I
and their
always keep
life in
playing with this
danger
mic.
every day. So it's tough. Their job
Yeah.
is tough. So when you look upon somebody who, I mean, like I said, you'll have a few, you know,
I
bad
mean, there's
ones.
always like,
Yeah. So
I mean, that's society. It's part of our everyday
mm,
living. You have good and you have bad,
mm,
but more of the story is just respect one another
mm-hmm,
and, because we're all doing the best we can do every day in our work field or choice of career that we're doing.
mm-hmm.
But this is February. I actually really think this is such a special, it is a special month, Black History.
Yeah.
And it's the month we got married, our anniversary, 4 years. I can't
Mm-hmm.
believe it.
Mm-mm.
Can you believe that?
Yeah. 4 years.
This
I
is
said that
coming for
this
a
morning.
man that literally
This
never
morning.
thought he would get married.
Mm-hmm. This morning. I was like, babe, it's 4 years. It's 4 years I've been married. No time just run off, and you know what though. Um, if we made it through the COVID time,
Pandemic. That was our
pandemic,
first 2-3 years of marriage.
yeah. If we make it through that, Scotch, like, just flawless, pretty
I
much.
mean, not flawless,
I
but
mean, mostly flawless. You know what I mean? Yeah, 1 and 2 they get frustrated and stuff, but
I mean,
we
I'm
made it.
not perfect. I have my days where I'm a
Yeah, but
little,
we make it through that with no day at all, with no regrets. You know what I mean? We didn't regret meeting each other.
right.
We didn't regret being around each other. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like we
Cause
still chose each other. We
kind of
still,
idea we'll argue, and it done.
right.
You know what I mean? And then we're good. We don't
Yes.
argue, and for weeks we don't
No, I
talk to each
mean,
other. We
we'll
don't want to be
fix
around
it.
it. We
We'll
don't want
fix
to
the
be around each other.
problem.
Exactly. We'll fix it
Yeah.
right away.
But the main thing is like we choose each other. We always
Mm-hmm.
choose each other
Mm-hmm.
and,
Yeah, and I
try
never
to
yeah, and I never once in the house and don't want to be in the house.
that's true too.
You know what I mean?
Except
So
his favorite place, the bathroom.
man. So yeah, we gone. It's 4 years
four
now.
years
4 years and counting.
and eight
You
years
know what I
in
mean?
total of knowing
Yeah,
each
8 years
other.
in total. So survive,
Man, that
survive.
is a vibe.
Survive
Wow.
4 years, man. That
May
it
God
just it just
continue
make it
to
it just show your age.
bless our
It's
union.
just showing your age.
Not showing my age. You were telling me yesterday
You
that
look nice though.
I caught you at your
You catch me on my young age, young stage.
I cannot.
You stole my young
I
days.
literally still like because you're such a good husband that I still sometimes find it so unbelievable that you pictured yourself as someone that would not get married.
Mm.
And I sit there and I look at you and I'm like, why did you ever see yourself in that light?
Not getting married
Like, why
because
did you think that of
life,
yourself?
the road did nice. Your
I
road
mean, when you
road
put it that
road
way,
nice, you know.
when you put it that way,
Your road nice, brother. When on the road it nice,
yeah.
but when you come home, it sucks.
When the high goes down
Mm.
and the low
Yeah,
kicks
can you do it
in,
on the road and you enjoy yourself? I mean, of
right?
course
Yeah,
it's
you're on a
nice.
high. I mean, when I say high, I'm not
Mm.
meaning like
Yeah, and
drugs or
then
anything.
you try to bring that fun home, because if you leave the fun and you come home, you're stressed out. You don't have
True.
nothing to do. So you try to bring the fun home. You try to have friends around all the time.
Yeah.
You try to. just
You
do
just try to fill that void.
yeah. I fill up that gap there. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah, because
so-
I'm like, man, you're a catch.
the vibe. I mean, I'm not a bad looking guy. You
You're a catch.
know.
You ready for baby number 3, 5?
No, man. No. When you see
Gosh.
when all
I
the
love
kids
teasing him.
probably in high school and college, we can discuss it. But
Who's
I
gonna
don't
have who's high school?
I don't want I don't listen man.
Who's gonna have a baby at
We
that
need to
point?
enjoy ourselves.
I know. I actually was saying to one of my
We need
friends
to enjoy
yesterday
ourselves.
that
And
we didn't get that chance.
these kids that are home with us right now, they're destroying our home.
Oh my God.
They're destroying our
So
home. They're
dramatic.
destroying everything. And we need to get them out of the house. We need to get them
I
to
can't deal.
college, get them, to their professions. And so you and I, we can, rebuild.
I can't deal with you.
Rebuild and have our own,
I can't deal with
space.
them. We'll tell them to get a job so they can get their own place.
We need to keep them out of the house. We need to get these kids out of the house.
Oh, God.
ASAP.
Okay, ASAP.
We need it,
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's enough for the kids. We have enough kids.
Well, no, I'm just teasing you.
I
I'm
know you.
good.
I know you can't bother with no more that stress.
No, I'm good. I'm very good.
Me good too.
I know you like to bake cookies, but we're done with the baking.
Bakers, man, baker. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it for today.
Yeah.
For this episode, and thanks for joining in
Could feel
again.
my allergies the whole entire time here. My nose, my eyes. Man.
Yeah, guys, and don't miss a beat. It's Asafa and Alicia on the Fast Lane Lifestyle.